I like to think of myself as a bit of a Marvel fan. So when Marvel Rivals was announced, I was beyond excited. Cut to December 6, 2024. Everyone's excited and everyone is playing, and obviously ever since just the announcement, people have been asking and begging for their favorite heroes in the Marvelverse to be added. But there's one hero I love that I honestly haven't seen much love for, or being asked to be in, and that is my absolute favorite, Laura Kinney, aka X23 aka Wolverine. And as someone who loves Laura Kinney a lot, I've come up with my own kit idea for her way back since Rivals released basically. And in a previous video I mentioned that when Lady Loki was announced, aka the girl variant, I got so excited and it gave me hope for not just Laura, but the other girl versions, in quotes I guess, of other heroes. Like Jane Foster, She-Hulk, Kate Bishop, which I will happily talk about in the future, but for today, I only want to talk about X23. Everyone knows Laura is a clone of Wolverine, so her powers are literally the same as his, but I'm gonna do my best to make her be her own unique character, while still having those powers just like how Laura is much more than just a Logan clone. Starting off with her primary, Bone Claws. Instead of having 3 claws, Laura actually has 2, which are made of bone, but were taken out, coated with adamantium, and surgically put back into her. Hence the name Bone Claws. But it can be renamed to just adamantium claws or something else entirely. But since Laura only has 2 claws, I propose making it so she does less damage to bigger health targets, but more damage to lower health targets. Just like how Wolverine does more damage to tanks, because it's percentage based, I want the opposite for Laura, so she can be a backline strategist assassin. Why? Because she literally is an assassin, and I want to make her lore accurate. I know it sounds bad, but we've already had a percentage damage for a while, and correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't Iron Fist and even Black Panther deal more damage to strategists in early Rivals? And to add on to this, I always wanted her to have bleed. And with the introduction of Devil Dinosaur, it's finally in the game, like actually now, and I really want Laura to have it too. Although percentage damage along with bleed might be too much, so I propose another idea. Either make her percentage based damage, or have like a set damage, but with a bleed build-up. And to get my point across, do you know about Elden Ring? If you don't, basically there's an effect swords and a few other weapons can do that if you hit an enemy enough times, a huge chunk of their damage is like, it just bursts down. And this is probably too OP for Rivals, but like in a very contained small amount. I think that could be cool and kind of fun, but I'm probably biased because it's my favorite character and I want her to, you know, obviously be a little bit strong. But being a melee character, Laura's gonna need a way to get in and out of the fight, so for her first ability I have Assassin's Lunge, which is gonna work similar to Wolverine's Feral Leap. I want her to be able to jump at a target, but not to kidnap. Instead, I actually want the opposite. I want it so instead she jumps on someone and clings to their back, doing the same attack speed Wolverine does after his Feral Leap, and stabbing the enemy she's clung onto. Like, you know, the red meter and like he slashes a little bit fast. That, but on the person. And I want it to cause a bit of a slow effect since she kind of is on top of them and stabbing them. And also, you know, that realistically would slow someone down. And I also think a meter similar to Angela Pin is a good idea, so she doesn't stay for too long and can't overuse it, while still having a short cooldown. Again, similar to Angela. And the reason I want a bit of a short cooldown is because I want the lunge to have a second effect. See, I left out a crucial detail about Laura. In the beginning, I said she only has 2 claws. Well, she actually has a 3rd claw on her feet. In her feet? Whatever. And Laura has used this claw to cling onto walls and ceilings. See where I'm going with this? I want her to be able to cling onto walls. Not climb. I'm not exactly sure if I want her to climb. Just cling on. Although we have seen her climb, but whatever. Similar to how Hulk like grabs onto walls when you hold his jump on a wall, helping her in the stealth and assassin background. Plus, just I think it would help her gameplay in the whole assassination thing. Kind of like Spider-Man actually. And speaking of her foot claw, I want that to be an ability. Instead of a mini claw dash like Wolverine, I want her to have a low AoE sweep kick. Think of how when you do magic spin after coming out of portal and the dash, but a bit smaller, lower to the ground, and with like half the dash range. I'm still not sure if this ability should do bleed. I kind of wanted to, but I at least kind of wanted to do some slow effect because last I checked, if your ankle gets cut, you can't exactly run. Plus, it would help isolate and secure kills a little bit. And for her last ability, I honestly wanted to incorporate some of her behavior. I wanted more Laura. And Laura is actually physically weaker and less durable than Wolverine because of the lack of adamantium in her skeleton. But she makes up with this by being more agile and a better healing factor, making her rely more on speed and precision than brute force. So instead of giving Laura the same damage resistant shout Wolverine has, I actually wanted to give her the ability Frenzy or Tactical Precision, not sure which one yet. But basically instead of making her damage resistant, I wanted her shout to give her either an attack or movement speed, or even both. The reason being that Laura doesn't have the same rage Logan has, because she was engineered to be more calculating, and Logan also grew up with like a lot of trauma and stuff, so to incorporate that, I think feeding into that speed would be better for her as a character. And last but not least, her ultimate, Trigger Scent, or Trigger 42, still not sure. But that's the name of a chemical made specifically to trigger her Berserk mode. And I have two ultimate ideas. One is similar to Black Cat and Double Dinosaur, where the ult is just like faster attacks, faster cooldowns, faster movement speed, and maybe even stronger and bigger attacks like Magic Soul. But honestly, that's the boring one, but the more plausible one. My second idea is much more goofier. I was thinking like a mini Psylocke, but instead of the big circle, it's a cartoon Puff Cloud. And hear me out, it's stupid, but it can work. I promise. Like, you can move around like still like Sayo and has a slight sucking effect like Wanda's, which then it becomes like Jeffel where the people are eating up and take damage over time. And maybe to not be too OP, the Puff Cloud could maybe have some health bar, or you could try pulling out still. I don't know. I don't know if that makes sense though. So that is a funny idea though. Originally, I wanted her to just have a vertical dash like through enemies with a bunch of cuts and slashes and cause bleed, but does that sound familiar to anybody? Passives! For her first passive, I honestly don't know what to give her except just copy Wolverine's second life cooldown. To this day, I don't know because they even did Deadpool's regen differently. So I think when her health bar just hits 0, it procs second life bar, like, you know, Wolverine. Plus, it could fit her dive style pretty well, and speaking of health, I think her having 275 to 300 would be fine, but I don't know much about health. I don't know what would be too much or too little for like a divey backline character, so they could just adjust those accordingly. I also really wanted to involve that rage meter Wolf has, but I honestly don't know what to do with it on Laura. One idea is to stick to the percentage idea and then make it so that once the meter is full, now her attacks cause bleed. 2, her attacks and movement speed are faster, but that would clash with the shout, so I'm not sure about that. Or 3, which is most likely a bad idea, but a troll idea. Like I came up with this just like to be funny and, you know, just have a third option. But it could be OP, which is to reduce cooldowns by a tiny bit. Not exactly half, like don't cut it by half, but still enough to be worth going for. Any of those would be fine. And now onto the fun part. Skins. For her default, I was thinking either her actual Wolverine outfit, since Logan doesn't have his technically. I was thinking maybe Laura could have it, and make the base recolor of it the black and gray one she's had. And if they want to make her go the casual clothes outfit as well, I was thinking a slightly altered version of the outfit Kid Laura had in the Logan movie. Obviously make it so it fits her adult status, and just slight not to the movie to be honest. And if that's too much for default skin, then that'd just be a good shop skin to be honest. But hey, speaking of shop skins, some heroes come with legendary shop skins out of the gate, and if you've seen my stuff before, you've seen the Warp World Battle Pass idea I came up with a few days ago. Yeah, for her first legendary skin, I want Laura to have her Hex 23 skin, baby. Fuck yes! I love Hex 23. Give it to me, Guang Guang, please, I beg. Her claws could glow red and make like a lightsaber sound, you know, like a woo, woo, that, you know, like that, but like good. Harold could have magic sigils. Oh, dude, it'd be beautiful. Give it to me. But for a more normal skin, I've seen her have like this pirate skin, and Emma has one, and Punisher, and whoever the fuck else. She could have it too. It's cool. And there's this also a normal look she could have of blue rarity, like, you know, like in the battle pass how there's blue. She could have that. And here's some other few bonus ones that I found along the way while looking through this, like this cool saber tooth one. That one's cool. But those are all my ideas for X23 and Marvel Rivals. I absolutely adore her and would genuinely die of happiness if she came out, but unfortunately the odds of that are extremely low, if not zero, which breaks my heart. At most, she would come like much later, when most, if not all, Marvel characters have already been added. But hey, like, I can dream. Tell me what you think. Tell me if you have any other ideas that you think would fit her. And next, I'm actually going to talk about Kate Bishop. So if you like her and you want to hear my ideas, if you like this idea or not, I'm going to talk about her next. So stick around for that and have a good rest of your day. Bye!